Pameran Kisah-Kisah Dalam Kenangan telah diadakan di Galeri Seni Dermaga Diraja Bandar Seri Begawan. Pameran ini adalah bersempena ulang tahun ke-70 pendaratan Angkatan Australia di Borneo bagi membebaskan pulau tersebut daripada jajahan Jepun semasa Perang Dunia Kedua.
But this exhibition that we're here marking at the moment demonstrates a much longer, deeper people-to-people relationship. Education is really important to us. We have a lot of Bruneians that go and study in Australia, and that's grown over the years. You've got this group of people here in Brunei that have a connection to Australia through the 3 or 4 years that they've spent living in Australia studying there. We'd like to see some flow in this direction, so under my government's New Colombo plan we're hoping to see more and more students come to Brunei over the years. And so the exhibition's running until the end of the month here in Bandar, but we want to see it travel around the country, so we'd like to take it to Temburong, we'd like to take it to Belait, to Tutong. So if there's anybody from those administrations listening, we will be in touch. I was in Temburong just a couple of weeks ago, and we had early discussions about taking it there. So I think this project will keep on giving for a while yet, but we have got other things that we're planning. So we've had a real push on sports-related public diplomacy. So we've had an activity recently with Netball Australia coming out and running training courses for young kids, and also the national team. I'm really pleased with the response. We weren't sure how receptive or if it would resonate with the local community, but we had a very big turnout at the official opening. We've had a really positive response to an invitation we've extended to schools to send classes in for tours. We had another exhibition last year, was of art, and that was well received. But I think this is at another level. We've had a group of veterans, of Australian gentlemen between the ages of 89 and 96 that were here earlier this week. And the Australian community embraced them, and I was very pleased to have them here. And they're absolutely amazing individuals. Some of them, so these are 8 men that fought at the end of the Second World War here in Borneo. 3 of them actually saw action in Brunei itself. Others were involved in fighting in Tarakan and Balikpapan and Labuan. So other parts of this island, but 3 of them actually saw action here. So just seeing them engage with Bruneians that lived through the war. So we actually have a gentleman here at the moment who is involved he was interviewed in the UBD side of the exhibition. So it's resonated with people on a range of levels, and I think all of us at the High Commission were absolutely, we were fascinated by the stories that we're able to hear. So we were very fortunate to be able to spend time with these men. I sat on the boat for 2 hours on the way to Labuan and 2 hours on the way back, and was able to have really interesting conversations. And I think so I think your question is, what will come from this? And I think one thing that will come, it's about education. It's about learning from the past. It's about appreciating what the sacrifices that people made. And I think for Bruneians, understanding the history of the country, how the struggles that Brunei went through, like other countries have gone through as well, and not dwelling on the past, but learning from the past, and being better informed and better prepared for any challenges down the track. So it's a really beautiful project, and I hope people can get down here and have a look at it. It's open every day between now and the 30th, so the end of this month. Anybody in those other districts will certainly be bringing it to you, and we'll make sure that we advertise and draw it to your attention.
Pameran mempamerkan gambar-gambar dan cerita oleh orang-orang yang melalui zaman Perang Dunia Kedua. Pameran ini juga merupakan projek The Stories Through Memories oleh Dr. Janet Marles dari James Cook University.
So we started the project Kisah, Dalam Kenangan, and we were looking for people who's had experience, like witness experience of World War II, and we're interested obviously in talking to people that are over 80 years old. And we wanted to get a broad range of people from across the country, from Taraja to Temburong and everywhere in between, and also a range of ethnic groups, so Dusun, Iban, Kedayan, Malay, Chinese, sort of try and get how the war affected those people, depending on what region they were in and also depending on what ethnic group they're part of. My father was here in World War II as one of the veterans. Unfortunately, he's passed away. But when I moved to Brunei, I looked into his war record and saw that he'd been part of the landing here. And when I started to do some research, I found out that it was only the Australians that were here during the liberation. And I hadn't known that before, so I thought it was quite interesting. And I knew that Australia had done a lot of this work for the recording the veteran stories, but I wanted to know what local Bruneians, how they had experienced the war, and I thought it would make a good companion to what's already been done with the veterans. And when you go around the exhibition, you'll be able to see. Earlier this week, we had 8 veterans here from Australia who were part of the campaign, and that was extraordinary to have them here. They had a lot of good stories to tell. The elderly people from Brunei, it started off just word of mouth. So the very first one I met was Pengurin Idris, and I met him at a lunch, and I told him my dad had been here, and he told me his story when he was a little boy, and we've cut that into a smaller video, which you'll see on the screen behind this wall, which is called The Letter, and that's a really lovely little story. And I thought, well, if he's got that story, maybe there's more. And we just, through word of mouth, just started asking people. I would just go somewhere and say to someone who's roughly 20 or 25, are your grandparents alive? And they'd say yes. And I'd say, do you know what they did during the war? And, oh, yes, they were here during the war. Could you go home and ask them if they would mind being interviewed? It's just asking people, yeah. Yeah, so it's taken a long time. It's not something that happens quickly, and we've spent over 2 years, probably closer to 3 years, working on it. Yeah, because we go out to different regions. We go down to Taraja, out to Temburong, all over Brunei, going to the homes. So we usually interview people in their home. And so each interview is 1 hour, roughly, and we cut it into a 3-minute piece. So we've got, within this room, we've got 27 3-minute videos of individual Bruneians, as well as a 45-minute documentary that's cut into themes of 10 themes. The object is to record the stories for further research. So within the stories, there's a number of nuanced, textured stories, and that can be drilled into, and we can find out more and more about certain aspects. So, for instance, the documentary has sections on the way people wore clothes, the way they made shoes, the way what they did when there was no food, how they coped, where they went to, who they relied on. Those sort of things are very textured and nuanced, and it's a matter of retaining those stories for further generations. I think everyone should come to see the show, and because it's really wonderful, and hope you enjoy it.
Pameran Kisah-Kisah Dalam Kenangan adalah hasil kerjasama di antara Suruhanjaya Tinggi Australia dan Universiti Brunei Darussalam.
Projek ini merupakan projek mengumpul pengalaman-pengalaman orang Brunei yang pada ketika itu waktu Jepun berada di sini untuk mengetahui apakah kehidupan mereka pada ketika itu. Alhamdulillah semua pengkisah-pengkisah kita dapat kita hadapi, dan memori mereka pun alhamdulillah dapat menyumbangkan untuk pencapaian penyelidikan ini. Malah ada yang masih ingat tentang ketika sekolah yang terpaksa mereka menyanyikan lagu-lagu Jepun. Itu yang menariknya. Bukan satu lagu, kadang-kadang sampai 4 buah lagu. Jadi ini merupakan satu dapatan kita melalui daripada sumber sejarah lisan yang insya-Allah nanti pada matlamat kita akan menjadi satu komplimen kepada sejarah yang sudah tertulis dalam bentuk buku dan sebagainya. Exhibition ini merupakan pendedahan kita bahawa di Universiti Brunei Darussalam bukan saja kita mengadakan lecture, kuliah dan sebagainya. Salah satu tanggungjawab kita ialah membuat penyelidikan, dan inilah hasil daripada penyelidikan kita yang perlu diketahui umum bahawa inilah hasil-hasil daripada penyelidikan secara lokal. Okay. Jadi kesempatan ini saya menyerulah kepada orang ramai, ambillah kesempatan ini untuk berkunjung di pameran 70 relationship with Australia Brunei ini, dan yang mana dalam exhibition itu kita juga turut serta untuk mempamerkan hasilan daripada kajian-kajian kita.
Penglibatan mahasiswa-mahasiswi Universiti Brunei Darussalam dalam pameran ini merupakan pengalaman berharga bagi mereka dalam membuat penyelidikan dan temu bual dengan warga Brunei yang pernah melalui zaman Perang Dunia Kedua.
It was interesting. Actually, it's an open door for different perspective to see the World War. Basically, our knowledge before is only based on textbooks and stuff, but now it's basically we heard it from someone who actually there, who actually experienced the things. The youth especially should come and listen to their stories and to actually gain more knowledge about Brunei.
Bagi generasi muda, terutama sekali para belia, dari apa yang kami sudah buat masa ni mengenai dengan exhibition ini, sedikit boleh dikongsi atau kita ni sendiri akan dapat pengalaman atau mengetahui hal-hal yang kita ni tidak pernah alami.